One more. And I know this
is
is gonna be fun for you.
When you say fun, you said fun, and you brought up abortion. So I'm a little concerned what you.
Well, what do you
call fun?
This is sort of like the cinematic version of an abortion. So in a couple days, you are going to accompany your old man to the theaters here in Mexico.
Oh no, I forgot. I was so happy.
Hi ho! There it is. So the mainstream media is trying to make this out as the greatest movie that's coming out. It's really Snow White. First reactions by people who were paid to give positive reviews. This shit is all paid for, people. Snow White first reactions praise the remake. It's a big surprise. And Rachel Zegler stuns. No, you know what stuns about Rachel Zegler is that she actually goes through the movie without insulting anyone. That would be stunning, right? So they basically say this movie is far better than anticipated, CGI dwarfs aside. So they're giving this movie all sorts of praise. They're trying to save this film. It is ridiculous how much they have just kicked this in the high gear to try and save this movie because their box office numbers, they're on a downslide. So I'll be paying for my ticket. I'll be paying for your ticket. I wouldn't make you.
No, dude, you don't have to do that. You can just save the money for the family. You know.
I'm just saying.
You can save the money.
I'm gonna pay for your ticket. All right. And
when are we seeing this again? Thursday.
Thursday, the 20th. Today's the 17th, 18th. Yep, 20th. Oh, that's when it comes out. At noon, baby. At noon.
Oh, so you're just gonna ruin my whole afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh hell yeah.
That's just great.
So. On February 7th, it was reported this film was going to open anywhere from 63 to 70 million in its first 3 days. That quickly was changed around February 21st, anywhere from 65 to 85. So it kind of got like, okay, we're not really sure. Now it's dropped to 50 to 56 million in its first 3 days domestically. Variety, which is untrustworthy when it comes to this stuff, and the numbers, which look, this film maybe originally was $240 million to $270 million budget. With all the reshoots and then the redoing of the CGI with the dwarfs, you're probably looking at a $350 million movie.
No, 400. Sorry, 400 minimum.
All right, say 400 million.
Because marketing.
Marketing, right? All right, so you're looking at something that needs to do $1 billion to break even. And it's not going to get anywhere. This is just one of those where it's just a train wreck. You can see it come. There she is. There's our girl. There we go. There's our train wreck. It's just coming down the tracks and boom, it's going to hit. And I can't wait to see it. I've always enjoyed musicals. And this is a musical, but apparently I'll see. Hopefully, I'm sure you'll love it.
I will not. Imagine telling somebody prior to the production of this film that Snow White was going to open to $50 million domestically. You would look at them and say, you're crazy. It's Snow White. It's a live action remake. It's a remake. This should be a slam dunk. $1 billion should be like the goal for a Snow White movie, like traditional. All they had to do was copy and paste. They could have copy and pasted the dialogue even. They could have literally ripped off the dialogue from the original animated movie, and it would have probably made you at least $800 million. This should have been the most, for sure, and I said this last time on stream, for sure, slam dunk Green Arrow on the balance sheet for Disney. Disney should have been able to look at, in December, back on the year, in terms of movies and openings and total revenue, and they should have been able to point at Snow White, that name, and a giant dollar amount next to it. They will not be able to do that. And the whole issue with that I have is, what do you tell investors? You took the most for sure story you had, and you managed to lose hundreds of millions of dollars with it. That doesn't bring confidence, because then you're going to make new stuff? No. You can't even get the old stuff right. That's a problem. Sorry, Gringo, you can go.
No, I totally agree. I think everything you had to say was right. But here's some of the bullshit you're getting from mainstream media. Ash Crossan from Screen Rant, a very unreliable source, wrote, despite the Bob being all over the place, hashtag Snow White is quite charming. The message lands well. The critters are adorable, and Rachel Zegler and her enchanting voice are stunning. It almost got a full tear out of me, and I've never cried in my entire life. What a fucking piece of bullshit that is. So first of all, you never cried in your entire life, and you're dead inside. And if this is the first thing that brought a tear to your eye, or almost brought a tear to your eye, okay, you're a broken person, and you need to go.
Yeah, you had a lot of issues. You need to go to therapy. Okay. Also, can we just not get by the fact that Screen Rant weren't they reliable?
They used to be, but then they started getting money.
Once upon a time,
they get paid.
Yeah, I know, but
they're shills.
That's terrible.
Here's another shill. We Love Physical Media wrote, of being won over while admitting to walking into the screening with some big biases against the two leads. Quote, not a fan of Zegler or Godot, but man, this ended up being so good. I think this one is going to surprise a lot of people and do numbers. It's in my top 5 of Disney live action remakes. Go see it. Top 5, really?
First of all, are there even 5?
Oh yeah.
What do we have?
It's not better than The Lion King. It's not better than Aladdin. It's not better than Cinderella. It's not better than Alice in Wonderland. Sorry, there's 4 I just named off the top of my head. Oh my god, it just goes on and on. It goes on with all this.
Did you know the BBC did a report on like the poor opening and like how certain movie theaters or certain they're kind of trying to downplay the movie.
They're empty. The theaters are empty.
Yeah, they're trying to downplay it more because they're like, oh no, don't downplay the bad talk, because they know they're gonna lose money.
Yeah,
in England.
Yeah,
that's bad. It's bad.
Yeah,
because that tells you you're not only gonna just fail on your domestic base, you're gonna fail in your foreign market too. Christopher
Mills of Christopher Rates It, another show, agreed in his X post. The biggest surprise of 2025 is the most controversial and hated film of the year is actually a decent live action movie. Snow White, hashtag Snow White, is not only one of their best live action remakes, but it's also a movie that recaptures the magic of the 1937 movie. No, it doesn't.
Okay, so
it abandons the 1937 movie, so you can't recapture the music, the magic of something you abandon. Rachel Zegler, capital IS, is Snow White. No, she's not. She's Latino. And she delivers a magical performance. The musical numbers are unforgettable, and visuals, not the uncanny dwarfs, are enchanting. And Eric Cressida Wilson's screenplay provides depth to this world that I didn't know was needed. You needed depth to this world. It's a fairy tale, asshole. There's no depth to it. It's pretty simple.
That Latina comment was mean.
All right. What?
That was mean.
It really is. You needed depth to it.
She's Latina. You just spit by.
It's just
like an asshole.
Snow White in the fairy tale is Snow White. Why? Because of her fair skin.
Yeah.
Period.
I mean, she's German.
She cannot be Snow White.
She's pale German.
Because this Rachel Zegler is brown. I'm sorry, son. You're brown. You're never gonna be Snow White.
I don't want to be
a brown person. All right?
I'm mixed. I'm 50-50.
All right.
In the winter, I turn white. And summer, I'm brown.
Jesus. I'm translucent. All right? I can... Listen, I'm never going to play Black Panther. No matter what kind of shape I get.
Pay so much money.
Wakanda forever. It's never going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I cannot play the lead role in the autobiography or the biography of Martin Luther King. Even if I have a dream, you don't want to hear about it because I'm fucking white. You don't want to hear about it. All right, I get it. I understand it. All right. So that's just the way it is. It's like, it's like when Sean Connery played the Asian dude in the James Bond film. It didn't work then. It doesn't work now. It just doesn't work.
You're the only guy who can pull it off.
Maybe. Unless you're Robert Downey Jr., you can pull off the blackface. I guess that's fine. But yeah. It's just it's not mean. It's just the reality. You're brown. You can't be Snow White. You can be Jasmine from Aladdin. They're brown. You can be Encanto, do the live action Encanto.
Yeah, she could have probably done a good job with an Encanto film.
It's fine.
No, she probably could have been.
So it's just like, okay. But it's like me complaining. Like people won't accept me as the new Barack Obama.
That doesn't work.
Hope and change, baby. Hope and change. It don't work. And I know it. And I'm okay with it. Why? Because this is what it is. It is what it is. Okay? It just is what it is. All this bullshit that's coming. But again, you needed more depth to this world. It's a fucking fairy tale. How shallow is your world? How shallow of a life do you lead where you need depth to Snow White?
Gringo, don't you know?
It's a straightforward
No.
German fairy tale. And believe me, can we just leave Snow White alone because it's one of the few things the Germans got right with a happy ending?
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Holy just put this here. I needed depth to this.
No, Gringo, I wanted to know these.
You need to pull the stick out of your ass and figure out life. Go read something with depth. I'm afraid, if this person reads an actual book that's really deep, you give them something like Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky or as The Sun Also Rises by Hemingway. Their mind is going to melt. If they think they needed depth to Snow White, they're not going to be able to handle that type of, and this person writes.
Oh.
This person writes for a living.
Gringo, what if you don't want to know the socioeconomic state of the middle class in Snow White?
I don't get
Or the political tensions between the kingdom and another kingdom.
Listen, in Snow White, there's what? there's 10, maybe 11 characters. All right.
Yeah.
You've got the evil queen. You've got Snow White, not Snow Brown. Snow White.
Brown.
You got the huntsman or the woodsman or
Not
whatever.
Snow Yellow. You sure not? You don't want
Not Snow Yellow. No. Even if she goes and squats in the snow and takes a leak, it's still there. All right. So you get the queen, the huntsman, you get Snow White. All right. You get the 7 friggin' dwarfs. That's 10. I think I might be forgetting one person.
You get the prince.
The prince is the prince. Yeah, the prince. There we go. The prince. There's 11. That's it. You don't need to know anything else. You don't need to know who's in the village. You don't know where. I don't care. You got the guy in the mirror who's not really a real person. He's just a guy in a mirror.
The witch. You already said the witch.
Yeah, I said the evil queen. The evil queen.
Yeah, but yeah, kind of two different characters in a way.
There she is, right there.
The witch and the evil queen.
Same person.
I know.
But that's all you need. You don't need depth. Older lady, jealous of younger lady because younger lady is pretty. Well, they didn't get that right this time. Okay, so
yeah, they chose
older lady sends younger lady out into the world and scares her to be killed and all that stuff and blah 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 blah. She runs away. She finds the dwarfs. They take care of her. She takes care of them. It's hi-ho, hi-ho, hi-ho. She cleans the house like a good little woman, and then that's it, right? And then here comes the old lady again. Here's the apple. Eat the apple. Go to sleep. Prince comes. Magic kiss. Wake up. Happiness. Done.
Yeah, it'd be pretty straightforward.
What are they? There's no depth.
Oh, and then some whistling up.
Yeah, however it goes.
You don't remember? Hi-ho.
Hi-ho.
No,
Yeah, I remember.
hi-ho.
Believe me, I remember. You got Dopey, the retarded dwarf there, right? He's mute and he's got huge ears and he's stupid. He's on the
They
spectrum.
made Dopey look worse.
He's just on the
They
spectrum.
made Dopey look worse in this movie.
So you got him there, but we all love him. We don't care. He's we don't care. We love him. He's our favorite, right? You got the angry dwarf. You got the medical dwarf doc. You got Sleepy. You got Sneezy. You got Bashful. You got Dopey. You got these 7 dwarfs, right? You got them all. They're all stereotypes. They're all fucking hilarious. That's why, because there's fucking stereotypes. You just leave it alone. But you couldn't leave it alone. And here we go.
I mean, you almost got rid of them. Please.
You and I are going to see
You almost threw me out of my chair.
You and I are going to see this movie. We're going to bring your mother to it. And then she's going to divorce me. Because I made her watch this goddamn.
So I get a front page. Not front page. A front seat view. Oh, I got a front view.
Anyways,
that's great.
Snow White.
Oh,
can't wait.
Dude,
we might have to just do a live out of the theater reaction for this one. Not even wait for me to come home. Like actually record audio and try to write something nice. And
can we right after the theater start recording? Either we go live. Or
let's just go live right out of the theater.
Right, we were leaving the theater. We go live. It's like, all right. I better get some good food at least to make this out.
Oh, no. I'm making you breakfast here. We got to know. And then we're going right to the theater. There's no enjoying this day. There's no enjoying that day. There's no enjoyment. This is work. This is grueling. This is a task.
This is not grueling. This is not work. This is torture. I don't want to see my boy Dope.
Put your mean face on, baby.
You mean your game face?
Your mean face.
I forgot. I had joy.
Dude, I still have to do that review for Electric State. We saw that movie today.
Yeah, little quick view of that. I actually think though they do a good job with the CGI,
CGI beautiful
animatronics, and I like the world building. I love the okay. I actually like the world building.
The dialogue sucks. Billy Bobby Brown, she's got 3 things she can do. She can stare in the camera,
cry.
She can cry. She cries like 90% of the time. She's crying, or she's yelling all the time. And it's like, oh my god. Chris Pratt just plays Chris Pratt. He plays Chris Pratt. He's like discount Star-Lord dressed as Han Solo.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad. It's not. They don't have no chemistry together. 2 of them have no chemistry. The story does not follow the fidelity of the original comic book, the graphic novel, The Electric State, which is very dark and dystopian. This one's a little bit darker, a little dystopian at times, but
they kind of clean it up a bit more.
It's the Russo brothers trying to be Marvel on another comic book, and it just kind of
doesn't work.
It's too long. Oh my god, this movie could have been.
It's technically it's not too long. It's only 2 hours.
It's 2 hours 8 minutes, and it's just.
But it feels like 3.
It feels like 3.
Feels like 3. They're
like stop talking.
Yeah, they could cut out some sections, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, but anyways, that's just quick. But we're gonna get out of here. It's past 10 o'clock, and we're gonna get back to doing what we do, which is playing video games and pissing each other off. Anyways, with that, right. Thanks to everybody for joining in. We had a lot of fun talking about everything. So, from south of the border, I'm still your reluctant gringo. Salud.
A huevo.
A huevo. Boom.